All right, I'm outside today, and hoping the audio is going to work this time, because the very first video that I recorded to put out was outside, and for whatever reason there was zero audio on that. It recorded nothing, no ambient noise, no outside, my chickens were running around out there, nothing. And I don't think that's a coincidence. My first sermon, actually, that I did in July had the same problem on the live stream. We had about a third of the message that was not audible on the live stream. The enemy doesn't like these messages to get out, but it doesn't matter. I believe it's working today. I did a quick sound check, and it seems like it came through, so we're gonna roll with it. I'm outside today in front of our trailer, actually, because this morning when I was praying, I asked God, what do you want me to talk about today? What do you want me to tell them? And I thought that I had an idea of where it was going. I wanted to maybe talk about God's love, and he put the trailer in my head, and the trip that I took to Indiana to the Meet Me in the Water event, the revival that took place in end of May, June, I think it was end of May. And when I said, is that what you want me to talk about today? You want me to talk about the trip to the revival? And my heart just swelled with so much joy, like it just it just lit up. And I was like, okay, this is definitely what he wants y'all to hear. And that was hours ago. It was early morning, and I've been just dying for my lunch break to get here so that I could do this video. And the joy, there are days like this where it just all day I can't do anything but laugh, because I do have inexpressible and glorious joy, and I know when I am doing what he's asking me to do, and I know that I am perfectly in his will, that joy is just, it's pervasive. It doesn't go away. And that's where I'm at today. I know that this is what he wants you to hear today and what he wants me to put out there. So I'm going to tell you a strange story of what happened a few months ago. So in March probably, I was sitting outside. It was one of our first warm days that we had. I was actually sitting in one of these chairs, and just eyes closed, sitting in the sun. And I was like, God, how can we reach, people and talk to people and show them who you are, who they're just not willing to walk into a church building. They might feel awkward or nervous or whatever. It's like, what can I do? And he gave me an idea for a mobile outreach that we could do in the community with a trailer. And we could just kind of go, and it would have like this, like, I don't know, food truck type of vibe, right? Where we could hand out food or water or clothing or whatever donation we had to give at the time, or what the need was in the community, that this truck could, our truck could haul around a trailer and just be a blessing to people. And I wrote it all down that day. I did what my brain does. I typed it all up, and then I forgot about it, because I have ideas all the time that I have and I forget. But this one kept popping back up in my head, and I was like, what do you want me to do with this, Lord? Like, am I supposed to be looking for a trailer? And I found one. It popped up on like Facebook Marketplace recommendation, and we went and looked at it, and it didn't work out. There was something, like the title wasn't ready to be transferred or something, and I was kind of disappointed. And God, he works in such funny ways. We went to Erie to look at trailers that they had at a dealership there, because we had seen it on our trip to Tennessee in April. We passed it. We went down there and we looked, and we found a blue trailer. It's not this one. Found a blue trailer, and it was kind of pretty, kind of cool. And then there was a black trailer, I think. They had a side door on it like this. They call it a display door or something. And I thought, man, that would be perfect for what we're trying to do. Like, we could just literally open it up and like just have access to all the things that we want to do and give away. But they wanted way too much for it, and I was like, kind of disappointed again. We're driving all the way back from Erie, and we're literally sitting there talking. We're like, okay, well, if we had like the perfect trailer, what would it look like, right? So it would be long enough that we could get some bikes in there, because our micro church is is kind of directed at and focused on motorcycle riding. I was like, well, if we're going somewhere and we had to bring a bike, or some bike broke down, we could throw it in a trailer. So we wanted a kind of a longer one. We wanted it to be tall enough to be able to drive a side-by-side into if we needed to, which we have. I wanted it to be a tandem axle, right? So we wanted 4 tires just for safety and security. Wanted it to be in a certain price range, and I really, really, really wanted it to be blue. There was like all these things, and there might have been even others, you know, like just on this checklist. And we spelled it all out that day on the drive home from Erie. And like a day or so later, I was bummed out because we didn't get the trailer and we couldn't find it. And we found a advertisement on Facebook Marketplace for a dealership near Clarion, Pennsylvania. It's like another couple hours away in the other direction. And I was like, do we want to drive down there? Like, it was literally a after work kind of thing. We would leave and maybe get there before they close, you know, and to look at this trailer, because I thought it was black, but it had this side door on it. And I was like, well, it's got all the other things, so like, let's go look at it. And I did not have high hopes for this to work out. And so we drive down there and we get to this dealership, and hey, it is a blue trailer too, and it's got all of the other things. And we asked him the price, and he said, well, it's normally this, but we'll drop it down to this today, which was right underneath the budget that we had set. I mean, right underneath it. And I kind of started laughing. I was like, okay, God just like literally checked off all the boxes and answered that list so specifically that it cracked me up. And I was like, okay, God, like, all right, we're gonna get this trailer. So we bought the trailer, drove it home, and I started seeing, like right after that, things popping up on YouTube for a ministry called, or a movement maybe called, Meet Me in the Water. And at first I looked at it and I was like, there's no way this is real. Like, this has got to be staged. And I didn't really watch it. And then it kept popping up, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll watch this video. And the more I watched it, I was like, Lord, is this for real? Like, is this really happening? Or they were setting up these revivals and baptism events, and hundreds of people were coming to these events all over. They're traveling around the US doing this. And I was like, surely this is like staged somehow, or some of these things like that. Is this really what's going on? And as I was watching it, I heard God speak. Sometimes I hear audibly he speaks, and he said, take the trailer to Indiana. It was the upcoming one in 2 weeks. There was one coming up. Take the trailer to Indiana, even if it's empty. And I'm like, okay, I literally just got this trailer like a week, 10 days ago. I don't even remember. We just got it. And now I felt like God was telling me, okay, you got 2 weeks. You're headed to Indiana to go see this Meet Me in the Water event, and you have to take the trailer, even if it's empty. And I'm like, why would I do that? Okay, but this is kind of funny how my brain works. So I was like, okay, and so I went to Amazon and I ordered a camera to see on the rear side of this thing, because I'm like, well, if I have to drive a trailer, and I don't even know how to drive a trailer, if I have to do this, I need to be able to see out the back so I can back into things and change lanes and stuff like that. So I immediately went to Amazon and ordered the camera, even before I knew anything else. And my husband comes home and I start explaining to him, I'm like, I think God's telling me that I have to go to Indiana and I have to take the trailer. And he's like, again, same questions, like, why would you take an empty trailer? Like, that's ridiculous. And I was like, I don't know. This is what God's telling me to do, so I have to go to Indiana. So that same day, even before he got home that day, I messaged my mom, and because she used to drive a tractor trailer, and I said, Mom, can we meet this weekend in like an empty parking lot somewhere or something, so that you can teach me how to manage and maneuver this trailer a little bit, so that I can go and do this. And she was like, yeah, like I'll meet you. And we get down there that weekend, and she's showing us kind of the ropes, and I'm pretty bad at it. Jason, my husband, is a lot better at it. He's had a little more practice. And so I just asked her kind of on a whim, like at the moment I was like, so yeah, I got to take this thing to Indiana in a couple weeks. Do you want to go with me and drive it? Because Jason had a broken wrist that he had just fallen and injured, so it would be really hard for him to do. He didn't have time for take off work. And she was like, yeah, let me see if I can get the time off. And I was like, okay, cool, like maybe this will work out. And it did. She ended up getting the time off. And in the 2 weeks that we had between then and the event, I did what little we could in the trailer. We got a couple shelves put in there. We stocked it with a few, things that we thought we might need. And my mom had no idea. Like, I did not tell her what the plan was for this trailer that God had showed me. Like, you can serve food out of this thing, maybe grill some hot dogs. It was all written on my paper that I had this moment back in like March. I was like, we'll like grill up some hot dogs, and we'll serve, drinks and food out of this thing, and we'll just minister and help people. And my mom, out of the blue, a couple days later, she sends me a message that says, hey, I have an idea. We could grill hot dogs and hand out water at the event. And I just started laughing. I was like, God is speaking to her, and she doesn't even quite know yet that she's seeing his plan. I don't even know if I've actually told her that. But sorry, Mom, if you're watching this video now, that was God, the idea for the hot dogs. So we head out on this trip. The drive down there was really terrible. There was like rain almost the whole way, terrible traffic, accidents everywhere, road closures. It took us, oh my gosh, like 4 or 5 hours longer than it was supposed to get there. And so we got to our hotel and went to sleep that night, and went to head out Saturday morning to go to the event. And we're getting, down the little back road, and we get to the location, and there's cars lined up on the road, and they're parking people, like they have people like directing, where to park as you come in. And I'm like, the doubt starts to kick in, right? I'm already there. I'm at the event. I've done all of these things. We've got like 50 hot dogs and some, cases of water. And now the doubt kicks in, right? The devil starts whispering in your ear, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what if they just park us like back with all of the other vehicles, and we can't even open the trailer? Like, it'll be for nothing. And then I was like, no, God has a plan. Like, he sent me here for a reason, and he specifically told me to take the trailer even if it was empty. So I'm just going to trust that he has a plan for this. And so we get pulled in, and we're talking to the guy he's like helping direct traffic. And he pulls us aside for a minute while he tries to figure out what exactly they want to do. And he comes back and he says, hey, we're going to have you go all the way down by the water, park in front of the music tent, and we'll have you set up down there. And I'm like, see, God had a plan. He knows. He had a way. And the Meet Me in the Water team was so gracious and so wonderful. Like, we just showed up without much any real notice. So thank God for them and for their love as well. So we're pulling over this knoll, and we get to where we can see the water, and I suddenly see hundreds of people in line to be baptized. And it's early in the morning. It's like 9 a.m.-ish. And I was thinking, oh no, oh no, we have 50 hot dogs. 50. It's going to be gone in 30 minutes. We are going to look really stupid in about 45 minutes. Because we've told them we've brought food, and we didn't have a chance to like really say what we had and what we had done. It was like, we're here, we brought some food. Oh man. So we're pulling in, and we get the truck situated, and I step out of the truck, and just the power, the atmosphere, I'm gonna cry thinking about it. the presence of God was so overwhelming in that place. And I almost started crying then. I was like really struggling to hold it together. I was just gonna bawl my eyes out because I was like, well, God had a plan and now we're parked up here and like whatever, it's gonna work out. It's gonna be fine. Like we'll just pray with people after the hot dogs are gone, whatever they need us to do. And so we're setting up the trailer. We get it opened up and we're putting out tables. And we hadn't been there 20 minutes. And the security person comes walking across the field with a man named Adam. And they have some coolers. And security guy says, hey, Adam here has brought some drinks to hand out to people. Can he kind of set his stuff with yours to hand out from there? And I was like, yeah, that's great, you know, welcome. And Adam was there by himself. His family was at home, and I said, well, you're welcome to hang out with us today, you know, if you want to. And so he kind of jumped in and started helping and situating things, and it wasn't very long before he said, hey, would you guys like me to go and get some more hot dogs? And I was like looking at all the people, and I'm looking at our few packs of hot dogs, and I was like, if you feel moved to get more food, I mean, we will cook them if they're here. And he said, okay. And he left to go to the store. And about the time that we were running out of stuff to cook, like, because it did not take long, like people just were coming immediately. And before we ran out, he came back and brought a whole bunch more. I think he brought like another 50 or more hot dogs and more drinks and chips and stuff to go with it. And so we kept cooking. And a little while later, a woman comes by with her wagon. She has a little wagon she's pulling behind her, and she's got a whole bunch of snacks in there, and she's got like little drink things to mix into water and just all kinds of stuff. And she's like, hey, I brought this stuff to hand out, but it might be easier if we consolidate everything together. Can I put these here with you? Now, mind you, we're like a couple hours later, and we're still serving food, right? Like with our 50 hot dogs that we started with, we're now like more food is coming, and people are coming down the hill to, you know, get food. And like we can't cook fast enough. And the Meet Me in the Water folks had hot dogs too that they were serving. And so like when they would run out, people would come over to ours, and when we would run out, they were over to them. And so we were just like cooking as fast as we could and handing stuff out. And this happened all day long. There was another man that came at probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Hey, if I go get more hot dogs and food, will you guys cook it? Do you want to keep cooking? And I looked at Mom, and she looked at me, and I was like, yeah, we'll keep the grill going. And so another person went, and I think it took them longer that time because probably every hot dog in a 50-mile radius had been sold out by then. But the food just kept coming. I mean, we literally cooked and served food all day long, from 9 a.m. until probably 6 p.m. that day. We never ran out of food. And all I could hear in my head was, take the trailer, even if it's empty. It's like, he was like, I will provide. Just, we need a place. I need you to go and be a spot and go help. Go. It was like watching Jesus multiply bread and fish for the crowds. I can't even describe. Like, I was so busy working and doing stuff all day. Like, I didn't even have time to really stop and eat or sit or anything. I didn't even go to the bathroom like all day. I was just working in the Spirit, and I didn't get tired, and I wasn't exhausted. I should have been just dehydrated and completely collapsed under it, but I was so full of the Spirit that it's like all of the earthly things just didn't matter. It just went away. And it was so wonderful just to see the people and be able to pray over people who came to get food and with them. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. And I struggled because I was like, okay, God, like, why exactly did you send me here? Like, am I supposed to be helping the Meet Me in the Water team? Are we supposed to do something like that with the trailer? Are you just showing me what's possible with this? Like, what is it that you want me to take from this? I don't know. Like, I did it. I done did it. But now what do I do? And I knew that he had sent me to Indiana, and I knew immediately that I wanted to go again, but I knew that that was from me. Like, I wanted to experience that presence of God again, because it was so powerful, and everyone there was just, it was an absolutely blessed day. It was probably one of the best days of my entire life. I know it was. And I knew I couldn't make it to the Washington one because that was too short of notice and too far away. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try to maybe go to the one in West Virginia, which is in a couple of days, actually. And when I got in contact with their coordinator again, I told her, I was like, well, you know, we can bring the trailer again. We can, you know, if you need something, just let us know. Do you have a place for us? And she had responded and said, we actually have everything covered. We're good on, you know, the food and the service, that, but if you really want to come, you know, you can do some videos, maybe hold people's phones while they get baptized or something. And at first I was really excited because I was like, this sounds like the best day ever. To sit and watch baptisms all day. Sign me up. And I prayed about it, and I was asking God, you know, like, God, is this what you want me to do? Like, I'm excited about it, but I want to make sure that what we're doing is what you want for us. And it was like he was saying, like, daughter, I'm not saying no. You know, if you really want to go, there is something you can do. There's a way you can participate. But I'm not asking you to do this. I'm not sending you. But if you really want to go, I'm not saying no. And I was like, oh man, he always gives us a choice, right? We have a choice to do what he's asking of us, or to do what we want to do. And I was like, okay, we're gonna have to spend money on hotels and gas and on prepping the trailer and buying the things and like whatever it is we would be doing. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. And so we ended up canceling the trip, which still makes me kind of sad because I really wanted Jason, you know, to be able to experience this. One of the ladies from our microchurch was gonna come with us, and we were all very excited about it. And I was like, this is not what he's asking. It's like he was saying, you know, their ministry is not your ministry, and I have different plans for you. This is not your path, but if you want to go, it's okay. And I don't know how to describe even the joy that I felt in knowing that I am still within his will and what he wants for us. And man, that is where the joy comes from. That is where that peace comes from. It's like you know that your steps are protected. You know that he is with you, and you know the sun's coming out. You know that your steps are being guided and watched, and that's the joy that I feel today in making this video, because I know that that's what he wants me to share today. And I cannot describe how many days that I have with this kind of joy and this kind of peace that I can't explain. There's nothing that I could tell you on this video that would make you understand what he has done and what he continues to do. I'm sure we'll have many more adventures with this trailer. I think that he has showed me that, you know, this is a way that church doesn't have to be in a church building. You know, like church, we are the church. The church is not a place. We are the church. We are meant to go and share the gospel and teach people. And in fact, that was one of the things he told me last year that kind of kickstarted this. We'll talk about that another day. But no, I am so thankful for what he has done. I'm so thankful for the trailer. Like, it just, the money to get the trailer, like, it just all, like, it came from him. That was not, it was like the idea came, and then the provision came, and then the instructions came, and the experience came. It's like it was just all man, when you're walking in God's will for your life, things just happen. He puts the path in front of you and he clears the way, and it just happens, and you don't have to work for it or cry about it and be nervous and stressed out. It just is. And that's what I have learned most powerfully in the last year, is that, and I have felt moments like that in my life where I was listening to him and I felt like the path was cleared and things just came easily. I knew then that his hand was at work in my life, but I have felt that so much in the last year. It is just wild to express it, and it's impossible to share it. There are not words. I could sit here all day and try to tell you about it, and unless you've experienced it, unless you feel his constant presence in your life, and you just know that you've surrendered everything to him. It doesn't matter. My finances, my family, my job, my health, my family, everything that is mine is his. It is his. And because it's his, it is now safe and protected. And even if everything fell apart, if all of it disappeared tomorrow, I would be okay, because he is still with me. That is the faith that I have now, and the joy that he has given me. I am taking back what the enemy stole, and I am walking with the Holy Spirit leading my life, and I know that he is with me. And I don't know what his plans are. I don't know exactly where he's leading or what is going to come. But with his protection and his guidance, it will all work for good. It will all work for good. Whether it's difficult, painful, sorrowful, happy, expensive, I don't know, whatever it is, he's got it covered. He has a plan. And I've known that since we moved. I was saying it when we sold our house. God has a plan. And the more that I lean into that knowledge, the more he reveals it to me. And I hope that you will find that as well. That you will stop trying to figure out all the things, right? Lean not on your own understanding. Trust in him. Look for his will for your life. Seek and you will find. Just ask him, God, what is it that you want me to be doing? What are the things in my life that I've put in front of you that shouldn't be in your place? What are the things that I'm putting first? Those are the questions. Those are powerful questions. And when you start asking stuff like that, be prepared for an answer. He will show you. So I hope that you have a blessed day today. I'm probably going to be wound up like this all day. I can't, once it's just on all day, whatever, every day, all day is like this. Thank you for listening, and have a blessed day, a blessed week. I hope that God moves powerfully in your life. And in fact, I think I will pray for you right now before we go. Father, wonderful, loving Father, well, thank you for all of the things that you have done for me and for my family, for my church family, and in my life. Lord, I ask that whoever it is that's watching this, and you know already who it is that's going to see this, I ask that you will put that curiosity in their heart to start asking those questions, and that when they ask you, that you will move powerfully in their lives, that you will show them exactly who you are and exactly what their life can look like in your hands. Lord, you are the waymaker, you are the provider, you are the great mastermind of all things, Lord, and we trust you. And I thank you so much for what you will do in their hearts and in their lives, in the powerful name of Jesus. Amen. I will see you guys on the next one. I don't know what he'll have me tell you next, but I'll be as excited to hear about it as hopefully you are. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.